Welcome back to the For Real Dose Show. I am your host, Christopher Keith. Hope all is well and this new year has been real good to you. So, I want to share something real quick that I experienced the other day. It's not the first time, but it's something that, man, I really hope to get into well for 2021. Really enjoy this state that I'm about to talk about. So, a lot of us like music. If you know me, you know how I feel about music. Man, music means everything to me. I gotta hear it. As a matter of fact, it's a treasure to my soul, to say the least. But nevertheless, I know that I've listened to and heard music all my life, and I got my favorites and stuff like that. But there are still some times when I listen to a song or songs, and it's like it's different. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's different. Like, for some reason, the words, the arrangements, the melody, they just come across different. And so this happened to me the other day. A couple weeks ago, I was taking a walk, doing my thing, and way my the way my gauge goes is, when I decide I'm gonna take a walk, most of the time it's like, okay, am I gonna listen to a book? Am I gonna listen to a podcast? Am I listen to some music? Most of the time, that's the way it goes. At least that's what I start off with. And so something told me, man, go on and put this "Touch Me in the Morning" Diana Ross song in. And I decided to put it in Pandora. And if you know anything about Pandora stations, when you put in a song and you make it a station, they'll play that song first, then they'll start playing songs like it. So I put this Diana Ross classic in there, and I'm doing my walk through the neighborhood on my way to the park. And I was just in this great, great, great different place, right? And so I already knew that I liked that song, which is why I picked it. I already knew that I was in the mood for it again. But as I was walking, it was something different. Like not only for that song, but for every song that followed afterward. Like it was songs from the Spinners, it was songs from the Stylistics, like they played "Stone in Love with You." And when the brother was singing about how he liked to be a great big movie star, overnight sensation, drive a big expensive car, and all of that. Like instead of me just hearing it like I normally did, like a bazillion times, it's like, man, every song, every lyric, every arrangement, every little nuanced thing, the instruments, the creativity of it, it was as if scales came off my eyes and I was like transformed into this other world, if you will. Not like out of my mind because it wasn't like okay, like I was high or something like that. It was as if I was awake. Like I was. Quincy Jones has this term that he uses for artists when they go over the pieces they're gonna do and they rehearse and they decide how they're gonna do their thing. Um, but then there are times when an artist go just kind of goes off and he becomes that piece, right? He becomes that piece. He's not just playing the piece, he is the piece. He envelops it, he embodies it. And that's something that Quincy Jones calls the alpha state. So as I was walking, I knew that I was in this alpha state because I was so aware. Like I was so as again, it's not like I think in normal everyday living, we just kind of go through life every day and we do our things, we take care of our responsibilities. And so our senses, are kind of numb, because you got news, you got responsibilities, you got things that get in the way of what you're trying to do. And so in order to function, you kind of have to put yourself in this mode, this fight or flight survival mode, right? And just to get things done, everything's not fun and games, so there are times when we have to do things that we might not want to do, or we just do things that we have to do, even if we want to do them, they're still part of natural everyday responsibility. So I believe that to a degree, we become numb uh to the little simple delightful things that are right before us. But on this particular day, as I was walking, again, it wasn't like I was in another world. It was as if my like Okay, so if I take my glasses off now and you put some words up, some small words, I wouldn't be able to see them. And then when I put them on, wow, I can see them clearly, right? So that's how it was sensory wise for me as I walked. Not just my mind, my spirit, everything was just open. So I'm listening to all these songs and they just jamming some classics, man. They playing Roberta Flack, they playing um Gladys Knight, they playing again the stylistics, they playing the spinners, more Diana Ross, I mean Dionne Warwick. I mean, they going into some great songwriting, some great production material. And there's a reason why these songs last for as long as they do and they become timeless. Because, like if you listen to A Sailor to Prayer for You by Dionne Warwick, or if you hear Aretha Franklin sing it, I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. But anyway, I'm not trying to give you a musical commentary because that's not what it's about. What this is about, it's really just about that my eyes were open. It was as if, again, like like I put these glasses on and I could see, or scales were removed and I could sense. So I was able to sense everything around me, all while listening to this music, right? So everything became just crystallized, at least way more than normal. So it's normally, I got a path that I walk through, and there's like two or three different variations that I may use just so I won't get bored. But as I'm walking through some of these normal areas of the park, because of this alpha state that I was in, because my eyes were so open and because my spirit was so clear without any interference, without any worries, without any responsibilities, I was in such a state that, man, I mean, the grass seemed beautiful to me. The air was clean and fresh. Uh, Everything around me just seemed to be in harmony. So, like, even the cars going by, the people walking by, they're walking dogs and stuff. Some people getting their exercise on, and some people again are walking their pets. Some lovers are walking by, and it was just everything was just so beautiful. And I just walked around this park, man, and then instead of going all the way around, I started walking inside the park in the different grooves and the different pathways, and saw different plants and stuff like that. And there's this one area of the park where it's got waterfalls, so I definitely frequent there. Most of the time I stop there for a few minutes to meditate. But man, everything was just so beautifully, beautifully open. Just beautifully open. And that taught me something. That experience taught me something. Uh, because again, there are times when I listen to music and I can really get into the music and I can really get a lot of benefit of it. But there's not many times where my spaces are so clear, my eyes are so clear, my spirit is so free and clear that I can absorb all the energy from everything around me and give back to that. It's like it was coming in and it was bouncing off. So the vibes I was given was going into the atmosphere, and the trees, and like all the things that were living were vibrating back towards me. So, like I said, that's why I said the grass was beautiful. Uh, everything that was living around me, I was open to. And therefore, as I'm walking, again, I'm not driving, so I'm walking, and there's a real big difference when you driving through the neighborhood and walking through the neighborhood. Trust me, you should try it if you haven't. Uh, but you're just so much more exposed to your environment. So I was really getting a kick out of this, to where I'm telling you, it was a level of total satisfaction, a level of total satisfaction. And everything became a wonder, everything became an adventure, you know? And so that was something that was just beautiful. Uh, and I hope that everybody can experience that. So if you say, how could I experience that? Man, the best thing I can tell you is just to be open to it. Be open to it. I don't have a formula for it other than I'm trying to make it a practice of making sure I get my meditation in, making sure that, I give my spirit and my mind a chance to rest, a chance to hear. Uh, and it's not something I don't, maybe it's something you can access with a whole lot of practice, perhaps. I don't know. But since I got a taste of it, it's definitely something that, that I want to get more of, because again, it was just such a peaceful feeling. It was such a loving feeling. And with that, I'm telling you, with that became an identity to everything that was living around me. So you talking about not wanting to hurt anybody, you don't want to, hurt anybody's feelings. All you want to do is serve and smile and be a willing participant to something, that's great, to something that's honorable, to something that's advantageous to others, not just to yourself. So as I was walking around, again, I just felt like I was an observer, because I was sort of outside of myself, but I was still fully engaged at the same time. And so that was a beautiful thing. And so I would just suggest, hey man, that's something to strive for. It's something that I definitely want to keep in my back pocket, to be able to access again with practice. Uh, and whatever state you want to call it, whatever it takes for you, uh, man, I would definitely encourage you to look into that, Do something that puts you in a space to where you're totally free of every worry, that you can, temporarily. And for me, I say this lasted probably about an hour 15 minutes. By the time I was on my way home from the walk, uh, I could say I was just kind of dealing with the overflow of it. You know what I mean? It wasn't as crystallized as it was, but it hadn't really fully left either. But I just think it's a beautiful state to be in. Um, and I'm sure, just as studies have shown, that meditation is good, that it's good for your heart, it's good for your health, it's good for your mind, it's good for your breathing. Um, it's just good for overall balance. So again, I would just suggest, man, do what you can. If you got questions for me, shout me out, and we can talk about it some more. Personally, I'll be happy to do that or share more deeply in my experiences. But I think it's definitely something again I want more of, and I think that everybody should get a little something, some of that. All right. So hey, that's a quick episode for you. Hope you're all having a great week. Again, if you like us, subscribe at the number 4, REALTHOSHOW, on our Yahoo channel. And no matter what, man, always keep it real. Keep it real, stay safe, mask up, for real though.